Nemo reads TS Eliot. This is the HollowMen by TS Eliot, written in 1925. Mr. Kurtz, he's dead. A penny for the old guy. We are the HollowMen. We are the stopped men. Leaning together, headpiece filled with straw aloft. Our dried voices, when we whisper together, are quiet and meaningless, as wind in dry grass, or rat's feet over broken glass. In our dry cellar, shape without form, shade without color, paralyzed force, gesture without motion. Those who have crossed with direct eyes to death's other kingdom, remember us, if at all, not as lost, violent souls, but only as the HollowMen, the stopped men. 2. Eyes I dare not meet in dreams, in death's dream kingdom. These do not appear. There the eyes are sunlight on a broken column. There is a tree swinging, and voices are in the wind singing, more distant and more solemn than a fading star. Let me be no nearer in death's dream kingdom. Let me also wear such deliberate disguises: rat's coat, crow skin, crossed staves in a field, behaving as the wind behaves, no nearer, not that final meeting in the twilight kingdom. 3. This is the dead land. This is cactus land. Here the stone images are raised. Here they receive supplication of a dead man's hand under the twinkle of a fading star. Is it like this in death's other kingdom? Waking alone at the hour when we are trembling with tenderness, lips that would kiss form prayers to broken stones. The eyes are not here. There are no eyes here, in this valley of dying stars. In this hollow valley, the broken jaw of our lost kingdoms. In this last of meeting places, we grope together and avoid speech. Gathered on this beach of the tumid river, sightless unless the eyes reappear, as perpetual star multifoliate rose of death's twilight kingdom, the only hope of empty men. 5. Here we go round the prickly pear, prickly pear, prickly pear. Here we go round the prickly pear at 5 o'clock in the morning. Between the idea and the reality, between the motion and the act, falls the shadow. Between the conception and the creation, between the emotion and the response, falls the shadow. Life is very long. Between the desire and the spasm, between the potency and the existence, between the essence and the descent, falls the shadow. For thine is the kingdom. For thine is, life is. For thine is this is the way the world ends. This is the way the world ends. This is the way the world ends. Not with a bang, but with a whimper. TS Eliot wrote those words in 1925. He wrote those words in expression of the aftermath of the First World War. The seemingly waves of people with emptiness in them, of lives destroyed, and the seemingly metaphysical suffering of the human. I will admit it is one of my favorite poems. He does illustrate a sense of bleakness and of emptiness. Could it be that we are all empty vessels that are waiting to be filled? I've been revisiting his works as well as that of Epictetus, Epicurus, and Marcus Aurelius. I am currently in the process of making videos based on the writings of Marcus Aurelius, selected readings of it. Since I'm in an enjoyable mood, I might read a few more of his poems for you fine people of the interwebs, just to break up all the hate and vitriol and anger these days that are flowing from Manchester, the terror attack, and a few other things. These are minor poems by T.S. Eliot. Eyes that I last saw in tears. Eyes that last I saw in tears. Through the vision, here in death's dream kingdom, the golden vision reappears. I see the eyes, but not the tears. This is my affliction. This is my affliction. Eyes I shall not see again. Eyes of decision. Eyes I shall not see unless at the door of death's other kingdom, where as in this the eyes outlast a little while outlast the tears and hold us in derision. Next poem. The wind sprang up at 4 o'clock. The wind sprang up at 4 o'clock. The wind sprang up and broke the bells, swinging between life and death, here in death's dream kingdom. The waking echo of confusing strife. Is it a dream or something else? When the surface of the blackened river is a face that sweats with tears. I saw across the blackened river the campfire shake with alien spears. Here, across depths of the river, the Tartar horsemen shake their spears. One of his other poems that addressed the aftermath of World War I. If you read the literature and the newspapers of the time period, you will find that there is a sense of bleakness. Europe is in rubble and ruins. Germany and her allies have been subdued, but at a horrific price. An entire generation of men have been lost. Therefore, there is a sense of melancholy and foreboding, as if they are waiting for the shoe to drop and the war to resume, which it does, unfortunately, 20 years later. But that's another thing that I'm not here to address today. Let's see what others of his poems I have in this book. Another one of my favorites. Whispers of Immortality. Webster was much possessed by death, and saw the skull beneath the skin. Restless creatures underground leaned backward with a lipless grin. Daffodil bulbs instead of balls stared from sockets of the eye. He knew the thought that clings around dead limbs, tightening its lusts and luxuries. Dawn, I suppose, was such another, who found no substitute for scent to seize and clutch and penetrate. Expert beyond experience, he knew the anguish of the marrow, the edge of the skeleton, no contact possible to flesh, allayed the fever of the bone. Grishkin is nice, her Russian eye underlined for emphasis, uncorseted her friendly bust, gives promise of pneumatic bliss. The couched Brazilian jaguar compels the scampering marmoset with subtle influence of cat. Grishkin has a mason nest. The sleek Brazilian jaguar does not in its arboreal gloom distill so rank a feline smell as Grishkin in a drawing room, and even the abstract entities circumambulate her charm, but our lot crawls between dry ribs to keep our metaphysics warm. Sweeney among the nightingales. Ape-necked Sweeney spreads his knees, letting his arms hang down to laugh. Zebra stripes along his jaw, swelling the immaculate giraffe. Circles of the stormy moon slide westward toward the river Plate. Death and the raven drift above, and Sweeney guards the horned gate. Gloomy Orion and the dog are veiled, and hush the shrunken seas. The person in the Spanish cape tries to sit on Sweeney's knees. Flips and pulls the tablecloth, overturns a coffee cup, reorganized upon the floor. She yawns and draws a stocking up. The silent man in mocha brown sprawls at the windowsill and gapes. The waiter brings in oranges, bananas, figs, hothouse grapes. The silent vertebrate in brown contracts and concentrates, withdraws. Rachel Nay Rabinovich tears at the grapes with murderous paws. She and the lady in the cape are suspected to be in league. Therefore, the man with heavy eyes declines the gambit. leaves the room and reappears. Outside the window, leaning in, branches of wistaria circumscribe a golden grin. The host, with someone indistinct, converses at the door apart. The nightingales are singing near the convent of the Sacred Heart, and sang within the bloody wood when Agamemnon cried aloud, and let their liquid siftings fall, to stain the stiff, dishonored shroud. Those are but a few of TS Eliot's poems that I thought I would share with you fine people. I hope I proved to be enough of a distraction, since all we hear nowadays are people screaming and wanting to incite revolution or whatnot. I will be back with another video of something equally as pleasant as a change of programming, so to say. Until then, peace.